Alright, I'm going to do a quick MakerBot video for my friends over at the Daily Paw and kind of show a little project I'm working on. So I'm going to build a drone, an unmanned aerial vehicle. I've got a little module here that has some 3-way gyros, a compass, an altimeter, and I have a little GPS and a bunch of electronics, and I need somewhere to mount it on my plane. So what I've decided to do is rip this off like so, and I printed out using the MakerBot some pieces, and I'm going to try and do this as best I can. I have a front piece for the canopy, which I printed, and my GPS fits perfectly in there like so. And then I have a second part of my canopy. I have writing on the side, if we can see it. UAV drone is what it says, and the other side says ArduPilot, which is what this board is. And they will fit nicely together using some little teeth. Oops, I have a cable right there. Hang on, let me plug the cable up because it's built to... I'm going to go in, I just pulled the module out for simplicity reasons, and it's just going to go in there like so. And what it's going to do is fit on the top of my aircraft right here, and it does fit. It's a little tight fit, and I'll be able to mount my electronics. Now I still need, and that fits better, I still need the third piece. So I've been designing it here using Google SketchUp. Somebody asked earlier what you use, and I've got a 3D model of the piece I'm designing, and so we're gonna go over and check it out on the 3D printer. Let me run to my other room over here, and here is the MakerBot. Now, even since the last video, I've done a lot of upgrades. There's plexiglass all around the sides to hold in the heat, and there's a heated build platform, which is different than the conveyor belt platform that I posted on the last video. And I have my model here using the program, and I can just click build. And it does a few safety checks, and then it'll go. So while it's doing that, we'll talk about the bot. It's a MakerBot Cupcake. It's batch 15. It's one of the first generation. I built every little thing on here. All these boards, not all of them, a lot of them had to be soldered by hand. That one, some of these boards like that one, some of those came pre-assembled. But a lot of these boards had to be soldered by hand. I did all the wiring, every screw. I have a really fancy wiring job in there that I spent a lot of time on. I went to the computer store and picked up some little LEDs and threw a nifty little button on here. So it's totally hackable. None of this was part of the original design, but it you know, you get it and it just comes in a big box, and so you can totally hack it together. I stained it, so that was the original color of the box. I have a few little issues with mine that newer 3D printers don't have. I take a minute to get going, but what it's going to do is print, and it will print. It's going to start printing a layer by layer by layer, and this print's going to take an hour and a half. Alright, well I actually do have a problem, so I'm going to stop the video and I'll splice it together in a minute. The nozzles, I have to actually manually set my nozzle height, and the nozzle's a little bit too low, and so it's grinding into the platform. So let me stop it and restart it, and I'll pick up the video again. Hang on. Okay, take two. This bot actually does have a few little issues that have been resolved with later model 3D printer models. You know, like I said, this was first generation. MakerBot has totally redesigned the way that the heater nozzle works, and now there's automatic homing, so the bot always knows where it's supposed to be. This bot I have to set every time, and it's a big pain in the butt. So, but whatever, it still does the job. You know, as I tell my wife, this thing has a lot of issues and it's not that great, but when you look at the technology in general, it's really cool. And I'll show you some prints that I've done here in just a minute. My lighting's not too great, and I think that green is far worse. why don't you hang out and watch it print just for a minute. And I'm going to try and fix the lighting, and then I'll show you some... Sorry I'm not the best videographer. I have a tripod and it's not, you know, get what you pay for, I guess. Alright, so hang out for a minute and I'm going to go grab a light. I think that'll improve the visibility. So basically it's pretty slow. I printed about 30 millimeters per second. I'm using a 3 millimeter ABS plastic line, which is just looks like weed whacker line. My nozzle heats up to 400 and it's 225 Celsius, so that's about 440 or so Fahrenheit, and my platform there it sets at 120 Celsius, so that's about 220 or so Fahrenheit. So the newer 3D printers, they do print a good bit faster. They print at about 120 millimeters per second, which is about 4 times faster than this one. But you know, it's all kind of relative, because then you get bigger platforms and the size of your prints increase, and therefore your build time is just as long. So that's going to go for a while, and I'll show you some other stuff real quick while that goes. What it's going to do is print. I've actually already printed the third piece of the canopy, but it doesn't quite fit, so I have to print it again. But it's going to print this canopy, and as you can see, it kind of comes back a little bit, so there's tilt in it in the back, and so it does overhangs pretty well. And if we can see the actual plastic lines, it's pretty cool. You know, it leaves lines. So here's what I got. I got a bunch of models, but here's some of my cooler ones. Here's my Mars rover that I was showing you guys. You know, I got a little finger, I got a gold pan, made a little airplane, I don't know, P-51 Mustang. You know, that was to test overhangs. This is actually quite older print. I print much better than this now, but that was to test overhangs, the finger going through the hole. I have triangles, you know, pyramids. This one's kind of cool. I got a grenade, and the grenade's screwable. It's got a screwable lid. So, the lighting sucks. I know it does. And so it has a screwable lid. You know, that kind of moves. It just clips on, so it's whatever. It does work. I have John Stewart. I always tried to get somebody to try and make me Ron Paul, because I don't know how to do that. That was made with a 3D scanner, but that's John Stewart. And if somebody could ever make me Ron Paul, I'll be more than happy to make you some copies and send it to you. Got a whistle. It works. Balls, cat toys, golf tees. At the little 3D printer expo I went to, everybody liked this. This is a, you know, just a little toy. Mother's Day. We love Mom. Different colors of filament. More whistles. There's a knot. That's kind of cool. You know, just junk. The coolest thing I'm doing is here the plane. You know, I'm going to build this canopy. It will fit up there like that whenever I get it perfect. It's going to fit up there. I have an HD camera mount right here that I made, so it fits onto my landing gear. I forgot to show you that a minute ago. So, you know, it has some practical purposes. I have doorbells upstairs. My buddies have some doorbells that are broken at their house, and you can't press the doorbell button. So, I printed out a doorbell. You make knobs. I've got some little hooks around the house. You know, just junk. But yeah, this is the Cupcake. I would definitely not recommend buying this one. It's got a lot of issues. Most most people I've talked to who bought one of these never got theirs working because of the amount of work that went into it. But as I stated in my post earlier, you know, somebody hired me to build this and he bought all the upgrades that I needed, and so I felt obligated to get it done just because I was getting paid to do it. And then after the fact, he just doesn't want it anymore. He wanted it to do prototyping of very, very small things, and this won't do it. So it prints this little plastic right here. Looks like a weed whacker line. You know, you get really fine deals. So anyway, I'll quit rambling, but that's my MakerBot. I'm really proud of it. Like I said, most people never got theirs working, so just the fact that I got mine working is a feat within itself. And so all this goes and it clicks. There's a relay down there that's the clicking. And what it's doing is the heaters are coming on and off. And so that platform will just kind of raise every time it needs to go up, and it'll just do that. And so I'm going to print out that third piece. So alright, that's the MakerBot. Pretty cool, huh?